Sabrina Elaine Ionescu, born December 6, 1997, is an American professional basketball player for the New York Liberty of the Women's National Basketball Association, WNBA. She is widely considered one of the greatest three-point shooters in WNBA history and is credited with growing the popularity of women's basketball. Ionescu played college basketball for the Oregon Ducks, where she twice won the John R. Wooden Award and Wade Trophy, earning consensus National Player of the Year honors as a senior. She led Oregon to its first Final Four appearance in her junior season. Ionescu set the Division I career triple-doubles record and is the Pac-12 Conference all-time leader in assists. She holds program all-time records in points, assists, and three-pointers. Regarded as one of the greatest collegiate players in history, Ionescu was selected first overall by the New York Liberty in the 2020 WNBA draft. In 2023, she broke the WNBA single-season record in three-pointers and the WNBA three-point contest record. She led the Liberty to their first league championship in the following year. Ionescu is a four-time WNBA All-Star and All-WNBA team selection. She has won gold medals with the United States women's national basketball team at the 2024 Summer Olympics and the 2022 FIBA World Cup. Off the court, Ionescu is among the highest-paid women's basketball players in the world due to several endorsement deals. She is the first female player to launch a unisex signature shoe with Nike, with her shoes being among the most worn in the National Basketball Association, NBA, and is a part owner of National Women's Soccer League NWSL team Bay FC. She gained global acclaim after competing against Stephen Curry in the first NBA versus WNBA three-point contest at 2024 NBA All-Star Weekend. Early life. Ionescu was born in Walnut Creek, California, to Romanian-American parents. Her father, Dan Ionescu, escaped communist Romania around the time of the 1989 revolution, seeking political asylum in the United States. He hoped that his then-wife Liliana Blaj and their son Andre could join them in a few months, but they were unable to move to the U.S. until 1995. By that time, Dan owned a limousine service in Northern California, where he had chosen to settle because he had several extended family members in that area. Sabrina was around 3 years old when she first picked up a basketball. She has a twin brother, Edward, Eddie, who was born 18 minutes after her. Eddie played basketball at the City College of San Francisco before transferring to Oregon. He was solely a student in the 2018-19 school year before walking on to the Ducks men's basketball team in 2019-2020. Sabrina Ionescu grew up in a Romanian-speaking household. In a 2019 interview with Ava Wallace of the Washington Post, Ionescu admitted to being a natural scorer, but said that most of the rest of her skill set came from playing alongside both boys and older girls in her childhood. When I was younger, I was always playing with the guys, and I had to find ways to get the ball because they never wanted to pass to me. So I figured that if I could rebound, I would be able to get the ball myself. Then, passing-wise, when I was in 6th grade playing with the 8th grade team, I was obviously a lot shorter, skinnier, smaller than they were. I would just have to find ways to impact the game other than shooting or scoring, and that was passing. Ionescu attended a middle school that did not have enough players to field the girls' team, and her school refused to allow her to play on the boys' team. She recalled, "My middle school said I should be playing with dolls. Seriously, word for word." She responded by recruiting enough girls to enable her school to have a team. High school Sabrina Ionescu as MVP of the 2016 McDonald's All-American Girls Game. Ionescu was a 4-year varsity basketball letter winner at Miramonte High School in Orinda, California, under head coach Kelly Sopak. As a freshman in 2012-13, she started 14 of 29 games and averaged 13.8 points, 3.9 assists, and 3.9 steals per game to help her team to a 27-3 record and a Northern California Section Division II runner-up finish. As a sophomore in 2013-14, Ionescu helped her team to a 32-2 record. During her junior year, Ionescu averaged 18.7 points, 7.7 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 4.7 steals per game, and helped Miramonte High School to a 32-2 record with an appearance in the CIF Open Division semifinals. In her senior year, she led Miramonte to the CIF Open Division title game, averaging 25.3 points, 8.8 assists, 7.6 rebounds, 4.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game. She posted a triple-double in the championship game loss to Chamonix with 24 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Ionescu also made a first-half buzzer-beating shot from half-court. She received national honors including the USA Today Girls Basketball Player of the Year, Max Preps Player of the Year, Cal High Sports Miss Basketball State Player of the Year, and Gatorade State Player of the Year. Ionescu was named a McDonald's All-America and Jordan Brand All-American selection. She was named the McDonald's All-America Game MVP after scoring a record 25 points, including 7 three-pointers with 10 rebounds. Ionescu left Miramonte with a career win-loss record of 119-9 and a school record 2,606 points scored. She is also the all-time leader in assists, 769, steals, 549, and triple-doubles, 21. In addition to the career record, Ionescu also held the Miramonte top 3 single-season scoring records with 598, 2013-14, 760, 2014-15, and 834, 2015-16. Ionescu also held the single-game scoring record of 43 points versus Pinewood High School, while being double and triple-teamed, and the single-game record in assists with 19 at Dublin High School. Ionescu was the #1 ranked point guard and #4 overall player in the recruiting class of 2016. According to Ava Wallace of the Washington Post, Ionescu chose Oregon because she wanted to be the All-American at Oregon, not just an All-American somewhere else. At the time, she was the highest-ranked recruit ever to commit to Oregon basketball. However, she had difficulty making a college choice, not signing a national letter of intent with any school during either the early signing period in November 2015 or the late period in April 2016. Ionescu finally committed to Oregon just before the school's 2016 summer term began, driving with her father for 8 hours from their Bay Area home to Eugene, making an unannounced visit to Matthew Knight Arena and telling head coach Kelly Graves that she would join the team. College career. Freshman season. On November 13, 2016, Ionescu made her collegiate debut for Oregon, recording 11 points in an 84-67 win over Lamar. Ionescu recorded 4 triple-doubles, 1 shy of the Pac-12 record and 2 less than the NCAA record. She averaged 14.6 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game, ranking second on the team in scoring and rebounding and first in assists. She also posted 7 double-doubles, ranked third in the Pac-12 and 29th in the NCAA with 183 assists on the year. Her 1.93-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio was second best in the Pac-12. She was named Pac-12 Freshman of the Week 4 times and was named USBWA National Player of the Week. At the end of the regular season, she was named Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and unanimous first-team All-Pac-12 and Pac-12 All-Freshman team selection. Additionally, she was awarded the USBWA National Freshman of the Year presented by the United States Basketball Writers Association. Sophomore season. Ionescu rose to national prominence in her sophomore year, leading the Ducks to their 3rd regular season league crown all-time and first ever #1 seed in the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. She led the Pac-12 in scoring, 19.2, and assists, dishing out 7.8 assists per game, which was 5th most in the country. She had 16 double-doubles this season and 14 20-point games. She recorded 10 assist games 13 times this season, handing out a league season high 14 twice. On February 26, 2018, Ionescu was named ESPNW's College Basketball Player of the Week. Following her second season, she was named the Pac-12 Conference Women's Basketball Player of the Year and was also named a first-team All-American by ESPN. Oregon also won the Pac-12 championship for the first time since 2000. She was named the winner of the Nancy Lieberman Award as the top Division I women's point guard after the season and was also a finalist for the Naismith Award. Ionescu became the NCAA women's all-time leader in triple-doubles, trailing only former BYU men's player Kyle Collinsworth with 12 among all NCAA players. Junior season. Sabrina Ionescu at the 2019 Pac-12 tournament. On November 6, 2018, Ionescu recorded her 11th triple-double in a victory against Alaska Fairbanks. 12 days later, she would tie the NCAA triple-double record with her 12th triple-double in a win against Buffalo. On December 20, 2018, Ionescu recorded her 13th triple-double in a game against Air Force and broke the NCAA triple-double record for both men's and women's basketball. She was later named ESPNW Player of the Week. Since that game, Ionescu added 5 more triple-doubles for a season total of 18 and broke the Oregon women's basketball assist record, formerly 608 assists, in a Pac-12 conference game against USC. In the 2019 NCAA tournament, Ionescu led the Ducks to their first Final Four appearance after a 88-84 victory over Mississippi State. Ionescu finished the game with 31 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, and a steal. In the Final Four, the Ducks lost to the eventual national champion Baylor 72-67. Ionescu won John R. Wooden Award and the Wade Trophy as the best women's college basketball player in NCAA Division I. Despite having only played for 3 seasons, Ionescu was eligible for the 2019 WNBA draft by age. Additionally, she would receive her bachelor's degree that June. However, believing that she had unfinished business at Oregon, she chose to come back for her senior season. This announcement came shortly after Ionescu accepted a place in a newly launched 1-year master's degree program in brand creation in Oregon's School of Journalism and Communications. Senior season. In the second game of her senior season on November 13, 2019, Ionescu surpassed the 2,000 points, 800 assists mark for her college career with a 109-52 win over Utah State. She fell short of another triple-double with 16 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds in the game, but recorded her 2012th career point and 810th career assist. In a win over then number 3 Stanford, 87-55, Ionescu scored a career-high 37 points along with 11 rebounds and 7 assists, and broke Allison Lang's Oregon all-time career scoring record of 2,252 points in the third quarter. In the rivalry game against Oregon State on January 24, 2020, Ionescu had 24 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds, and broke Oregon State and NBA star Gary Payton's Pac-12 all-time record of 938 assists. Payton personally congratulated Ionescu on the achievement. On February 14, 2020, Ionescu recorded her 1,000th career assist in a game against number 7 UCLA and joined Courtney Vandersloot as the only players in NCAA men's and women's basketball history with 2,000-plus points and 1,000-plus assists. 10 days later, in the Ducks' 74-66 win at number 4 Stanford, she became the first NCAA player ever with 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, and 1,000 rebounds in a career. Ionescu also recorded her 8th triple-double of the season, tying her own NCAA single-season record from the previous season. Earlier that day, she had been a featured speaker at the memorial service for Kobe Bryant, who had become a close personal friend within the previous 2 years, flying from Los Angeles to the Bay Area immediately after her speech. On April 14, 2020, Ionescu was named the winner of the Honda Sports Award as the best collegiate female basketball player in the nation. Ionescu won the AP Player of the Year, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA National Player of the Year, and the John R. Wooden Award and the Wade Trophy. Ionescu received the Nancy Lieberman Award for her 3rd straight season. Impact at Oregon. According to Ducks coach Kelly Graves, in 2019, Ionescu had a chance to be a Marcus Mariota, that level of player and an esteemed Oregon Duck when it's all said and done. He noted that attendance at Oregon women's games had dramatically increased during Ionescu's career at the school. In the season before she arrived, the average announced home attendance for the Ducks was 1,501. Her sophomore season saw an average attendance of over 4,200. It went up to over 7,100 in her junior season and over 10,000 in her senior season. Ionescu was also a significant draw when Oregon went on the road. For example, when the Ducks visited Washington during her junior season, the crowd for that game was 3,000 more than the Huskies drew 2 nights earlier against Oregon State. Graves' remarks about Ionescu's future iconic status at Oregon proved to be prophetic. Shortly after the premature end of her senior season, caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the university polled fans on social media, asking them to name the 4 Oregon alumni they would put on a national Mount Rushmore for the university. According to a 2020 story in the university's web journal, Around the O, more than 70 suggestions were provided, but the 4 top choices were Mariota, Steve Prefontaine, Phil Knight, and Ionescu. As the story's author, Damian Foley, put it, yes, Sabrina Elaine Ionescu, who only earned her diploma in 2019, is considered by UO fans to be one of the 4 greatest Ducks ever, standing alongside such greats as Marcus Mariota, Steve Prefontaine, and the alumnus who co-founded Nike and made the Phil and Penny Knight campus for accelerating scientific impact possible. Professional career, WNBA, New York Liberty, 2020 to present. Ionescu with the New York Liberty in 2022. Ionescu turned 22 in December 2019, making her eligible to declare for the 2019 WNBA draft. A January 2019 mock draft by ESPN, incorporating input from WNBA personnel and ESPN women's basketball analysts, concluded that Ionescu was a possible top pick should she declare. However, Ionescu announced in an open letter published in the Players Tribune on April 6, 2019, the day after Oregon's loss to Baylor in the Final Four and 4 days before the draft, that she would return to Oregon for her senior season. On April 17, 2020, the New York Liberty selected Ionescu with the first overall pick in the 2020 WNBA draft. She played her first game with the Liberty on July 25th. In her second WNBA game on July 29th against the Dallas Wings, she recorded 33 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds in 34 minutes of play. On August 1, 2020, Ionescu injured her left ankle in the second quarter against the Atlanta Dream. She was diagnosed the next day with a grade 3 sprain and was expected to miss about 1 month while recovering. In the end, though, she did not play again for the remainder of her first professional season. She complained about not being able to be considered a rookie in her second season of playing in the WNBA, even though she played 2 games in her first season. Sabrina Ionescu on the court for the NY Liberty, September 29, 2024. The next season, on May 18, 2021, Ionescu recorded her first professional triple-double in her 6th career game. She scored 26 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. She became the fastest player in WNBA history to record a triple-double. It was also the first Liberty triple-double, as well as the 10th in league history. On July 6, 2022, Ionescu had 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists to record the first 30-point triple-double in WNBA history. Ionescu and the Liberty advanced to the WNBA Finals in consecutive seasons, 2023 and 2024. They were defeated by the Las Vegas Aces in 2023, 3-1. The following season, they matched up against the Minnesota Lynx. In Game 3 against Minnesota, Ionescu scored the game-winning three-pointer to give the Liberty a 2-1 series lead.
In the fifth game, she had a bad night shooting the ball, but she contributed, leading Liberty with 8 assists and 7 rebounds, 6 of which were defensive, in addition to 2 steals and 1 block in the fifth game, helping the team win its first championship in the history of the franchise. Unrivaled. Phantom BC 2025 to present. On December 23, 2024, Ionescu was announced as the final roster spot for the inaugural 2025 season of Unrivaled, the women's 3-on-3 basketball league founded by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart, signing a deal that puts her in a category of her own within the league. Ionescu signed with Phantom BC, joining her former college teammate Satu Sabali and filling the club's final wildcard spot. 3-point contests. On July 14, 2023, Ionescu scored 37 points in the 3-point contest, the highest in WNBA history, making 25 of her final 27 shots. Stephen Curry holds the NBA record of 31 points. The 3-point contest is not a unified record between WNBA and NBA, as the shooting distance and ball sizes are not equal. On February 17, 2024, Ionescu competed against Stephen Curry in a 3-point contest during the NBA All-Star Weekend. She scored 26 against Curry's 29 points. Ionescu was invited to participate in the 2024 contest, but declined the offer. On July 16, 2025, the contestants for the 2025 3-point contest were announced, which included Ionescu. She went on to win the competition on July 18th, hitting 11 shots in a row with a score of 30 in the final round. In the press conference afterwards, Ionescu said that prior to the competition, she had promised rookie Sonia Citron half of her prize money if she won, and that she would be keeping that promise. Ionescu stated the other half of her winnings would go to her SI-20 Foundation. Off the court. Ionescu at the New York Liberty Championship Parade in 2024. On April 17, 2020, Ionescu signed an endorsement deal with Nike, which will include signature footwear and apparel. On September 1, 2023, the Nike Sabrina 1s were released as her first signature shoe. On November 11, 2022, she rejoined her alma mater, Oregon, as the Director of Athletic Culture. On November 14, 2022, she was ranked in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list for sports. Since 2022, Ionescu has hosted the Sabrina Ionescu Showcase for girls basketball teams in the Bay Area. Most recently, these games have been hosted at all-girls high school Carondelet, where her former coach Kelly Sopak now coaches, and its brother school, De La Salle. Her second signature shoe with Nike, the Sabrina 2, debuted in the summer of 2024.
In 2026, Ionescu would launch her own YouTube channel, becoming one of a few WNBA players to do so. National team career. 3x3 basketball. In late April 2018, Ionescu and Oregon teammates Erin Boley, Otiona Gilden, and Ruthie Hebard entered the USA Basketball Women's National 3x3 Championship Tournament at the United States Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Ionescu had never before played under FIBA 3x3 rules, admitting after the tournament, "I had to ask the rules before the game started." She adjusted quickly to the unfamiliar format, leading her team to the championship while going unbeaten and also being named tournament MVP. Ionescu and her Oregon teammates would be named as the U.S. team for the 2018 3x3 World Cup to be held in June in the Philippines. At the World Cup, they were the youngest team in the field, but swept their pool, defeating cup holders Russia along the way. They finished 5th. 2024 Summer Olympics. In June 2024, Ionescu was named to the U.S. Women's Olympic team to compete at the 2024 Summer Olympics in France alongside fellow New York Liberty teammate Brianna Stewart. Ionescu and the United States defeated France 67-66 in the final, earning Ionescu her first Olympic gold medal and the United States' 8th consecutive gold medal. Personal life. Ionescu is a Romanian Orthodox Christian. She was close with Kobe Bryant, with whom she had one-on-one training sessions, and spoke at the Kobe and Gianna Bryant Celebration of Life at the Staples Center on February 24, 2020. Ionescu is also a very close friend of her former teammate Ruthie Hebard. On March 10, 2024, Ionescu married NFL center and former University of Oregon football player Hroniss Grasu, also a Romanian American. On December 15, 2025, Ionescu and her husband's California home was broken into.